And hello everybody. It's been a while again, as usual. I'll start with a quick update. Last time I said I had some health issues and stuff like that. I'm happy to say that this is on the up and up. I was doing some absolutely terrible sleep apnea, 70 an hour. My heartbeat would go to 188, I think, the fastest in the middle of the night. I was missing basically 50% of oxygen. So I was basically running a marathon every night, and I was constantly exhausted. And now I have a CPAP machine, and I do 2 apneas per hour, and yeah, I'm feeling much better. Anyway, what am I here for? I'm here to update anyone that might be interested in my little project I've been working on for the past, 2 years now? Something like that. I've changed the scope of the project. Initially, it was a game called Axiom, Then it was changed to Strata, and it was supposed to be a universal role-playing game where we could play in any setting, but it was giving me a headache because at the end of the day, what I really want to play is something like Shadowrun, but not Shadowrun. So here comes Static Veil. So it's going to be my own setting, which is extremely inspired by Shadowrun. A mix of cyberpunk and fantasy in the future in 2092 with mega corporations. There's elves and dwarves and goblins and humans, of course, right? And cyberware and hacking and, all the good stuff that we like from Shadowrun, but with a different rule set, something that I made myself. So we're going to look at the system I've built for Foundry, and I'll explain a little bit of the system without going into too much details, because otherwise we're going to be here for fucking, I can keep talking about this shit for hours upon hours. And if I have more than one person watch this video till the end, there'll be a fucking miracle. So, let's start by opening the character sheet with the new look of the system. Quite proud of it. Compared to what we previously had. You can check the previous video if it's probably up there still. So, I don't know why it keeps... I think I have an issue with that. It doesn't save the name, maybe? Anyway, we'll be fine. What do we have? We have an operator, which is the name of player characters. And player characters have 8 attributes. The pre-classic. I think the one that's kind of original is Instinct, and Anima is like the magic attribute. But it does more than that. So even characters that don't use magic can still use it. Then the skills. Obviously, there's a list of core skills. For whatever reason, they're all doubled. I know why. It's fine. We'll be fine. I'm not gonna worry about it. But there's 15 skills that are considered core skills that everybody can use, pretty much. There we go. And then we have expertise skills, which are a little bit more refined, right? So, for example, hacking, not everybody can hack. It's not like you can do it without training, so you can't even try to do the test. But all those, even if you have 0, you can still roll for them. And the way it works, right, the base of the game, right, is that you take 2 attributes. So let's say I want to do an athletics check. It's strength plus agility plus the level I have in this skill, and that gives me a number, and then here it's 46. And if I roll under 46, I succeed. Let's do a quick test, right? So click on the roll button. It opens a roll window where we can adjust a bunch of stuff. Let's say you started an athletics test and now you're like, no, I actually want to use wit with charisma and logic. Doesn't matter, right? Well, the character has nothing there, so we're going to go back to something that he does have. Or actually, you know what? Maybe that's fine. And then it's a very easy test, so it adds a modifier. Then we can just roll. It rolls the dice. I roll a 19. That's below our target. And then we use a similar system for people that have played Warhammer, where we compare the first number of the roll with the first number of the target, and the delta gives us our hits. So how well we've succeeded, or how bad we failed. Like if I rolled a 65, for example, it'd be a -1, right? So that's the core of the system. On top of that, I have a system that I call bonus die. There's two types. There's the hot die and the cold die. Hot dice, they add hits only if the roll succeeds, and cold dice, they add hits no matter what. And I use the classic polyhedral dice. Let me roll something so I can show you. Let's say I do by level. There you go. Something I'm good at. A stealth check. Right? I don't know why I want to click there. And let's say I have a bonus from equipment, right? So here I can say that it's from gear, right? And it goes from D4 to D12, right? And basically every 2 points gives you a result. So 1 and 2, it's 0 hits. 3 and 4 gives you 1 hit. 5 and 6 gives you 3 hits, etc. Up to 12, 11, 12, you get 5 extra hits, right? So if I were to roll here, let's say I go even 2d8, which is crazy, right? Boom! I roll a 30, which is a success, which gives me 2 hits. But on top of that, I also have 2 hits from the bonus hot die, which gives me 4 success. So that's the core of the system. Basically, everything works around the D100 roll under system and then the bonus hot and cold dice. Now, let's show the various parts of the character sheet. So once again, we have attributes, we have sub-attributes, which are either things that are calculated from the attributes, like toughness, movement, initiative, or we have and recall control, and then we have stuff that's affected by our lineage, because again in the game there are different what I call lineages. You have humans, you have 8 in total: human, elves, dwarves, halfling, goblin, orc, troll, and satyr. And those are the 8 core, but I do have more in the setting, and we'll expand as we go. But yeah, traits come with like a limit to the different attributes, and humans are average, so they get 20 everywhere. And then they come also with traits, which here I just put some random shit, so so don't worry about it. I just wanted to show up the character sheet, right? And the flaws and qualities show up here. There's also attribute checks. So for example, perception is not really a skill, it's more like a natural ability. In that case, what you do is you add 2 attributes. So here it's resolve plus instinct, multiply by 2. It gives you the success target. You can roll with that. There's a bunch of statuses here, and I have like these favorite things, because very often with FoundryVTT, especially with complex systems, you always end up having to go to, okay, no, I need to go to this tab, and then this tab, and then this tab. So with my system here, you can favorite some skills, the skills that you're going to use very often, and then you can favorite weapons and gear and stuff like that, which is quite nice. Then we have the skills tab, which is very simple, right? I also forgot to show we have a health bar. Grit is a meta currency that we can use to reroll stuff, and an action point is what you use in combat. Then combat tab, there's a bunch of feature there. I finally have something I'm happy with for firearms, because very often in TTRPGs on Foundry, the way it works is always a bit awkward, especially when you have like different types of ammo. So here, what's cool is that the weapon has a magazine in it, right? Let's see. Yeah, there you go. It has a 30 round rifle magazine, and it's full right now. But let's say I want to use another one, because maybe I have another magazine with other ammo, with like armor-piercing rounds, right? I can eject it, right? It goes back here, and then when I go to reload, it gives me a list of the magazines I have in my inventory. I can select it, and it goes back in, right? And it's all tracked properly, normally, right? So it shouldn't be an issue. Then, of course, you can click to roll, right? You can change the equip status of every item. You can have it carried or stored. In fact, the items in the combat tab only show up if you carry them at least, right? Either carried or equipped. Otherwise, they don't show up. They go in the gear tab, where you can see equipped, carried, or stored, right? And same, there's a concealment system in the game where you can hide equipment on you. So generally speaking, armor is going to come with a concealment rating, right? And it can conceal up to a certain amount. So let's see here, I have a tactical ballistics vest that can conceal up to 1 bulk, right? So the stats. So for example, I can assign it the shock grenade, right? But that means that right now, my assault cartridge, my field medkit, which doesn't matter, it's a field medkit, who's going to bother you about it, right? Are not hidden, right? So right now, I'm walking around with an assault cartridge showing on my person, so it might raise suspicion, right? Then what else do we have? We have augmentations, which I haven't really implemented yet, because I want to test the core of the system, like everything that's, you know, everyday life, let's say. Guns and shit. We have an effects tab, where I can track the different effects that are on the character, and also we can add effects. And normally in Foundry, when you add an effect, you have like to type the key of the effect, which is, if you're not the dev of the system, you don't know what the fuck it is. So in my case, I created this effect builder where you can be like, okay, I want an effect that, maybe I have a buff that gives me +5 strength, right? So I go to attribute, strength modifier, add, I do 5, and then it can be conditional as well. In that case, it says just always on. So I create the effect, which didn't work because there's a bug. And normally, it will show up. Actually, it's there. I don't know why it's not showing up in here. Oh, there we go. It's a temporary one. That's why. It's a temporary one. Anyway, now I have +5 in strength because I have this buff. Then there's a magic tab. Again, haven't worked on it yet. And finally, we have the biography, where we can track money. There's 2 places we can track money. I have it in the header, so you always have that info available to you. And then here, I put like some kind of ledger. Let's say you like run money, right? You finished a run and you got 10,000 yuan. That's the money in my system. You edit, and then it adds it to your bank account if you want, right? And this way you can have a history of the different income and expenses you've had, and it's pretty cool. That's the character sheet, which is neat. Then I have the NPC sheet, which I'm not going to show too much because that's more for the GM. But it's basically the same thing, but just more compressed, right? Because as a GM, like, I'm managing fucking 10 NPCs. I don't have time to go fiddle about in the character sheets, and very often as a GM you simplify stuff anyway. So yeah. Now I also have something I'm working on, but it's not yet fully implemented. But I made like some kind of give me a sec, there, custom UI for players, right? Where you can drag items in these slots down there. And you have your stats. You can track all your different stuff up here. You can, you know, find your skills in here. You can do an attribute check. And yeah, you can drag items from your inventory like I did here, right, with the combat knife. And then when you click on it, Oh yeah, it's not equipped, so I can't use it. So I still have to decide what I'm gonna do. I think I'm gonna do a right-click button where you can do different stuff, but it's not finished yet. So I just wanted to show it because it looks cool. Anyway, most of combat is automated at this point, if not all of it. So let me show you what we can do. So we have this this little guy there. I put some walls here, so that's why there's this weird shadow. I'll show you something later. But let's see. If I go to combat tab and I use my gun, right? There's a bunch of stuff, right? I'm not gonna show all of it, but there are like additional option for automatic weapons. Because I have like a automatic fire system in the game. So let's say I use it. I'm gonna shoot 6 rounds to this target because I really want it dead, right? There you go. I target it. You know what? I'm not even gonna target it. So I roll. There you go. 6 hits, not bad. I forgot to select a target. That's fine. I can click on that, select the target. And then it automatically gives me different buttons, right? So let's do a dodge. I'm not going to touch anything. We'll just execute it. It's a really good roll as well, right? But it wasn't enough. So he still takes 6 damage. Does he have any armor? It's just a tiny bit, so that explains it. It gives me the hit location as well, so I don't have to do any calculation, right? If I want to see the roll details on any of those, I can click on this. It will give me the details of the roll, and it will give me the details of how the success target is built, right? And I can turn off stuff as well, right? Now it's too late because we already resolved it. But I can decide, okay, actually, that wasn't short range, it was long range, or, you know, this bonus shouldn't apply. I can turn it off. And then, yeah, we can just, boom, apply the damage. And if we look here, it's applied, easy peasy. And it should also show up, yeah, down here. For whatever reason, the trackers are the other way around than they should be. Another thing I have to fix. What else do I have? I also have AoE weapon handling. So let's say I go to combat. I have a shot grenade here. So what you do with shot grenade, you first place the template of the blast. So this is a pretty small blast, right? And once it's placed down, you can then roll to throw the grenade. The thing is, I'm gonna fail this on purpose because I want to show you something. So let's say I make it extreme difficulty with the, like, there you go, modifiers. You can't go below 5, by the way, because in the system, a 1 and 5 is always a success. So I'm gonna roll. It's gonna fail unless I roll a 1 or 5, right? And when you fail the throwing test. There's a deviation that happens, right? There's a bunch of rules. Normally, you roll a d8, it gives you the direction where it goes, etc., etc. But again, we're using FoundryVTT for a reason. There you go. And there you go. It automatically moves. And what's cool as well is that it detects walls. So as you saw, there's walls here, right? This way, there's shadows. So it bounced off the wall and then went there, right? It didn't move much because my roll wasn't that horrible. And it's kind of a, like, small area on purpose, right? And then I can go here and resolve that, and then it's gonna apply the damage on everybody that's inside. And I'm still not done with the AoE implementation, but yeah, that's the idea of how it's gonna work. What else is there to show? I think that's about it. Like, there's a bunch of automation for conditions as well. Let's say sorry, let's say I have a condition like I have not burning. Let's do bleeding. Let's say I have 3 stacks of bleeding, right? I'm gonna clear that, and I'm gonna put myself in combat, which I should have done already, and roll for initiative. So as you can see, there's already a button there. It's nice. You can track your action points. You can track your movements. It's very good. So let's start the combat. And in fact, let me show you. If I move, right, it does remove the movement. And if I move more, you can still move, because sometimes, you know, players decide, oh, wait, I didn't want to go there. I wanted to go there. It gives you a warning when you go over your allocated movement. And then, you know, it just lets you move freely. So yeah, no issue. So let's say I use all my actions, right? And we go to the next round. It gives me in chat, oh, you have bleeding, right? So you need to apply the damage. You press the button, it applies the 3 damage because I have 3 stacks of bleeding. Done. So you don't have to think about it, right? So let's say we do another, oh, there you go, we continue through the fight. It's my turn again. Oh shit, bleeding. Boom, 3 damage. I should take care of it. So there's that. What else is there to show? I think for now I've gone, you know, and shown quite a lot of the system. Of course, there's a bunch of different item types, and each of them has, you know, all the configuration that you need. The styling is really nice. I really like it. But yeah, let's say I do an ammunition thing. I can decide what type of ammo it is, if it has a damage modifier, if it modifies the armor penetration, if it modifies the range, if it has an elemental effect. Let's say it's explosive ammo that, you know, deals fire. There you go. I can do that if I want. There's no problem there. So there you go. As you can see, the system is pretty much in a playtest ready situation, and I cannot believe I made it that fast, because I've been working on it for 3 days and I'm already there. Well, last time it took me 3 months to get something nowhere near. So yeah, there you go. I wanted to show this out. I hope you liked it, and I hope I see you soon, because I miss you guys, and I'll see you next time. You have a good one. See ya.